We have a problem. The drug overdose rate in America is of epidemic proportions. Prescription opioids are a big factor in drug abuse and overdoses. There is no good outcome to any of this. Luckily, a team of engineers, problem solvers, programmers, and thinkers have created something special that is going to impact this epidemic.
Hello, my name is Mr. Hausman, and I am the faculty advisor to the South Fayette Student STEM team.
We made LockRX.
So the traditional pill bottle, everybody has access to a pill bottle at home. The child-proof or lack thereof, it can't stop somebody that serious to get that medication.
By creating a lockable device, we can eliminate the threat of those pills getting into the hands of our young people and therefore combat the opioid epidemic as we see it today.
We're trying to stop the addictions from starting in the first place by making a timed, locked pill dispenser so that only the person prescribed can use them and that they can only use them at the time that the doctor prescribes the dose.
We started with this square idea, and we thought that was the way to go. The pills would have to come out of a square. We found that the square is probably the hardest shape to work with.
And the students were generating a number of ideas with that particular design. At one point, we began thinking about a ViewMaster disc, and that really kind of inspired the current prototype that we have. Kind of became the central axis, if you will, of our design.
And we went through many iterations and tests.
Now, during our whole design process, we really had to take into account of the consumer's mind.
We fixed this by eventually moving to a circular device, which was more natural to hold, more comfortable in the palm, and it gave us more surface area to work with.
Once we had those early sketches kind of initiated, the engineers took that design, or those early sketches, and then began to design them out.
And after knowing how to 3D model as well as 3D print, me and the other team member, Michael Kugler, went on to create this device and get it to the final form factor that we would want to see going further.
It had to be small, it had to lock, and it had to be durable, so no one can just open it. And that's when LockRX was born.
All of this has been a step where we moved from inspiration to ideation and then to implementation. The research phase gave us a number of ideas. We used the interviews with the addicts that we talked to and drug people to inform us and give us ideas for how to begin implementing, or rather ideating a prototype. And then once we had the prototype printed, we took it back out to those same people that we had talked to back in the inspiration phase.
If it was for home use, and if this is going to be a timed dispenser of pills, I could see it being very useful, because if I need my child to take a dosage of medication, say at 4 o'clock, and I don't get home from work till 6, that I could feel comfortable that they're only going to take the dosage that they have.
So the first thing that came to my head was like my grandmother who takes boatloads of pills, every day.
They were pretty interested to see what we were working on, to see that something that nobody had ever heard of was being worked on, especially by high school kids. And we wanted to have it function enough that people could understand what it would eventually do.
We thought initially you could unlock it once you put your fingerprint down, and once that occurs, you could rotate it by hand to the next pill and dispense it outward through a button.
But one of the biggest difficulties we had was security. We had to balance out size because we couldn't have too big of a lock, and if it was too small, it might not be secure.
What we came up with was thinking of a quarter turning mount so that the device would be able to lock together using very little space on the outer rim, and that freed up a lot of room for us to begin playing around with motors on the inside.
So going from mechanical to programming was a big leap. I knew Arduino, but biometric scanner was an entirely different front.
We then brought in some electrical engineers that helped us think through some of the issues that were raised.
We had many people that helped us along the way to reach where we are now, and one of the people was Mr. Nick Anthony.
We also spoke with Dr. Andrea Galen of Johns Hopkins University. He is a local area representative, Jason Ortite. He is willing to take the device before the House and have them vote on possibly mandating implementation of this device.
If we could save one person, this product is worthwhile and it's worth our time to pursue it.
We need a product like LockRX to secure these products so that others can't get into them and abuse this and get addicted and then possibly end up dying from this.